Welcome back to CBS Mornings. Over the past 2 years, we've done a series of stories on wealth in America, including the role of race. The typical black family has only a fraction of the wealth of the typical white family, and many experts say that the root of that problem is real estate. In an earlier story, that brought me back to the county where my grandfather bought a house way back in 1953, an investment, by the way, that has skyrocketed in value. Well, this morning we are sharing another experience, that of a black family that had been hoping to make a similar purchase in the very same county. And what happened next?
And that's the end of a fairly busy day on the New York Stock Exchange.
1964 was a record-breaking boom year for the U.S. economy, and CBS followed along as one young couple tried to buy their piece of it.
His name is Corbett Rochelle. Since last July, he and his wife Sally have visited many real estate offices like this one.
The Rochelles knew exactly what they wanted, a 4-bedroom home in Bergen County, New Jersey, one of New York City's most desirable suburbs. And as it happens, the very same place where my grandfather had found a home just a decade earlier.
The Rochelle search began in the usual way with the local newspaper.
But as Corbett and Sally visited real estate offices and asked to see properties, they ran into a problem my grandfather did not.
Well, I have to call him and tell him that you are colored.
As CBS documented in this rare hidden camera footage, the Rochelles were repeatedly turned away.
So what do you have that you can show me today?
Nothing in this price range. Nothing at all.
And in case there was any doubt about the exact nature of this problem, CBS cameras also documented what happened when white homebuyers were sent in to ask about the very same properties.
Let's take a ride. I'll take you over to one we have in the development and show you that.
What the Rochelles experienced was a practice known as steering, a way of excluding black buyers from white neighborhoods. Prior to the Fair Housing Act of 1968, it wasn't only common, but legal, and very often life-changing. So to find out what happened to the Rochelles and how it compared to the experience of families like my own, we tracked down Corbett and Sally's only child, Alicia, only 11 at the time, and asked her to re-watch that original report.
Not wanted.
It wasn't always easy.
I've wondered often as I've gone from one real estate agency to the other, if people realize the many embarrassing situations and questions that you have to go through as a Negro, sometimes even humiliating.
Do you recognize that expression on your father's face?
Yeah, it's disgust. Yeah.
Did he ever find the house?
No. We moved out of New Jersey.
Your family spent at least 6 months and up to several years with plenty of money looking to buy a home in Bergen County, New Jersey, and never did.
Nope. Nope, we sure didn't.
What that means is the Rochelles missed out on one of the biggest real estate booms in the country. Home prices in Bergen County have jumped as much as 6-fold, even after correcting for inflation. For families like mine, who were able to make the investment, that money has helped pay for everything, from my grandparents' retirement to Florida to the travel I did as a college student.
Push that top one over.
For Alicia and her own 3 kids, that kind of generational cushion just was not available.
There wasn't a whole lot planned for them. They had no insurance. It was, yeah.
Did you say your parents died with no money?
No money.
No money?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
And it's really sad, but, it is what it is.
What do you do with the fact that this house that they could not buy in Bergen County is almost definitely worth $750,000 or even $1 million today, and your family doesn't have it because of nothing more than racism?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things that we haven't had because of racism.
Yeah.
The house is just a very small part of it.
That's a lot of money, though.
It may be, but, money's not everything.
So when you think of this whole story, and you think of your folks here who had all the money they needed to buy a home in one of the hottest housing markets in the country and were denied only because of the color of their skin. What kind of story is this?
I don't know. It's a story of our country.
All right, Alicia.
It is
I mean,
a story
you know,
of our
people always say, well, that was then and this is now, but you're still paying for that was then.
No doubt.
That's what's so frustrating about this. And I can only imagine what it must have been like for her to see her father talking about being humiliated and being embarrassed because you're still paying the price.
People sometimes say that that stuff is ancient history. And we just need to be fair today and move on.
Yeah.
It's not ancient history when you can see the living descendants of those people who have less today because they were denied then.
First, let me say, well done. I remember being a rookie, 2003, and one of my mentors said, don't waste your money on things that are going to depreciate. Don't buy that car. It's going to lose value. That fancy watch.
Yeah.
Don't waste your money on these material items. Buy property. Buy land. Because one, our people worked on these lands. And two, for a long time, we couldn't buy property. And these are examples of that.
I should point out that Alicia's family was eventually able to buy property in Florida. And I don't know what would have happened if they'd been able to stay in New Jersey, but I do know that they were denied their first choice for the American dream, and the consequences are multi-generational. And the reason I've done this story and the earlier one about my grandparents in Bergen County is because I think the question that confronts us as a country is, this happened recently. We're still dealing with it. What are we going to do about it?
Spot on.